Now, on Sunday, the New York Times headlined, "Has horrors emerged? Norway charges Christian extremist." A number of other news organizations like the LA Times and Reuters also played up the Christian angle. But Breivik is not a Christian. That's impossible. No one believing in Jesus commits mass murder.
The year was 1489. The Black Plague ravaged the continent. It was the hour of the infamous auto de fe, where for public amusement, heretics and non-believers were tortured and burned in a carnival-like atmosphere. And it was guided by the most fearful specter to ever sit in judgment over good and evil, the Grand Inquisitor.
In 1692, mass hysteria and rampant paranoia swept the New England countryside. Citizens in the small village of Salem were being accused of casting spells, of consorting with the devil, of being witches. This persecution was a relatively new phenomenon in America, but across France, Italy, Germany, and England, massive witch hunts had been going on for 300 years. From the 14th through the 16th centuries, an estimated 40 to 50,000 people were executed. The religious impetus for this human devastation came from the Holy Scriptures.
In 1924, while Hitler was in prison after his attempt to seize power in Munich had failed, he wrote his autobiography, which he called Mein Kampf, My Struggle. In Mein Kampf, Hitler attacked the Jews. In fact, there are more entries under Jews in the index than anything else except National Socialism. No one need be in doubt about what he said or intended to do about the Jews, as Punch pointed out 3 years ago, when already over 1 million copies had been sold, if not read. He blamed the Jews for Germany's defeat in the Great War, for the revolution which followed, and even for the runaway inflation of 1923, which nearly wrecked the German economy. Of course, blaming the Jews in Europe for any trouble isn't new. In the Middle Ages, Jews often had to wear special badges to show they were Jews. They had to live in ghettos, their own special quarters, in cities, as outcasts from Christian society. When the Black Death struck, it was the Jews who were often blamed for poisoning the Christians' drinking water. In the riots which always followed, mobs looted and burned the Jewish ghettos. They murdered those who would not give up their faith, man, woman, or child. All this happened not only in Germany, but in other countries, such as England, and in Russia, where in the first 10 years of this century, Christians made several murderous attacks on Jews in Russian cities. Christian charity wasn't being shown to the Jews.
The man might have called himself a Christian on the net, but he is certainly not of that faith. Also, Breivik is not attached to any church, and in fact has criticized the Protestant belief system in general. The Christian angle came from a Norwegian policeman, not from any fact finding. Once again, we can find no evidence, none, that this killer practiced Christianity in any way. So why is the angle being played up? Two reasons. First, the liberal media wants to make an equivalency between the actions of Breivik and the Oklahoma City bomber Tim McVeigh and al-Qaeda. The left wants you to believe that fundamentalist Christians are a threat, just like crazy jihadists are. In fact, in the New York Times today, an analysis piece says that some believe we have overreacted to the Muslim threat in the world. Of course, that's absurd. Jihadists have killed tens of thousands of people all over the world. The Taliban, Iran, and elements in Pakistan use governmental power to support terrorism by Muslims. But the left-wing press wants to compare nuts like Breivik and McVeigh to state-sponsored terrorism and worldwide jihad. Again, dishonest and insane. The second reason the liberal media is pushing the Christian angle is they don't like Christians very much because we are too judgmental. Many Christians oppose abortion, gay marriage, and legalized narcotics, secular left causes. The media understands the opposition is often based on religion, so they want to diminish Christianity, and highlighting so-called Christian-based terror is a way to do that. The primary threat to this world comes from Islamic terrorism. Iran is a major problem. If the country gets nuclear weapons, and it's desperately trying to, does anyone doubt those weapons could be used? A Muslim in Pakistan exported nuclear technology to North Korea. And Muslim suicide bombers blow innocent people up almost every day. Yet once again, the liberal media wants you to fear Christian terrorists. And going forward, when jihad is mentioned, you know Breivik and McVeigh will enter the conversation. Sometimes I think the world's going mad. This Breivik guy is a loon, a mass murderer who apparently acted out of rank hatred. No government supported him. No self-proclaimed terror group like al-Qaeda paid his bills. Breivik is just another loser who caused tremendous horror by murdering innocent people. There is no equivalency to jihad, no worldwide Breivik movement. Just another violent, pathetic legacy stemming back to Cain.